Welcome back, BroBanter fans. We're back here live at the Belmont, the studio at the Belmont. Heck of a place. Brought to you by Monster. Drink one, bitches. To my man Brett Boyer and the orange sunglasses. Those are some nice glasses. Where'd you get those?
Uh, you know, might have been a bachelor party, but memory's a little bit foggy from that weekend.
Yes, it was a very foggy weekend, some would say. So Brett, let's jump right into it. Let's get into your matchup. Let's hear your side, your take, your hot take. One coach coaching in this game.
Yeah, so I got to have a lot of confidence coming off a record-setting week. You have to admire the scouting department of the U's. There's a ton of depth. A lot of tough roster decisions in the start sits this week. It's a good problem to have, and it's a problem that the U's frequently have. Palermo is already on his usual path of sleeping through the season. He's not even in the country. He's really starting off on a strong note by playing, Aguilar in his flex, who plays on Thursday, really, handicapping his lineup decisions for the rest of the week. So that's another brilliant management move by Mr. Palermo. Running down the rosters here, I think you got to give the quarterback edge to Palermo. Rodgers is playing a pretty depleted Philadelphia team that's really been getting shredded in the passing game. So I'm a little concerned about Rodgers potentially blowing up. Danny Dimes has a great matchup against Washington, so we'll see how that works out. Running back, obviously, it's a dominating edge for the U's with two top 10 plays in Zeke and Ingram. Wide receiver, again, big advantage to the U's, although it's not maybe as big as you might think, because Evans really does have a brutal matchup with shadow lockdown corner Akeem Talik, who's having a phenomenal year. Tight ends, Olsen popped up on the injury report today, but we're not too concerned over here at the U's camp. 2014 Trash Goblins SFL champion Greg Olsen is playing extremely well, but I think you got to give the nod to Palermo on this one. Evan Ingram's just looked like a stud and a real steal in the fifth, sixth round. Defense, Palermo might want to check his roster. Buffalo's got an elite defense, but you're not starting them against Tom Brady. Like, that's ridiculous. I think the U's roll in this one, and they get a pretty easy victory.
I agree. Just want to mention, has Palermo done anything yet with his bench, or is he still pretty depleted?
Yeah, so he has several players that one's on injury reserve and he has two that are already ruled out, and none of them are in the IR slot. So again, brilliant management by Mike Palermo.
I don't think Palermo trusts doctors too much. Broken bones Devin Funches has, I think, might think those are going to heal pretty early. So
They might heal up quick. You never know, right?
The contrarian take from Mr. Palermo.
Hey, someone's got to do it. All right, so let's move on to another kind of middle of the road type of game. Beers with Rosas versus the Lone Star Regime. Projections currently 123.66 to 122.78. Close matchup. Doug is leading in the projections at this current moment. James, let's hear your hot take on this one first.
Yeah, again, at this current moment, it was Romer that was the favorites just moments ago this evening. And that's what I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick the Lone Star Regime. I think he's going to get to 3-1, believe it or not. A Ryan Romer team at 3-1. And why? Well, that's because James Conner, he's taken a lot of heat. He's had a rough start to the season, but James Conner was playing at Cincinnati team that's allowed the second most points to running backs. I don't think Jalen Samuels nor Benny Snell are a threat to him. Conner should dominate that backfield. He played 68% of the snaps last week. Look for that to be around 70 this week. And they want to take the ball at Mason Rudolph's hands. He didn't look good last week, and they might give him some easy throws to James Conner. A guy for Doug's team, look at those wide receivers. Will Fuller really hasn't had – actually, Will Fuller has not had over 69 yards. That could be a good juju, though, but he hasn't had over 69 yards in a game. We got three tough matchups. Cooper Kupp and Brandon Cooks have really dominated in Los Angeles. Robert Woods, although he did get some big plays called back by penalties, but that wide receiving core could be a little depleted at the moment. So I'm taking the daddy long legs. And how about Will Disley?
Daddy long legs in a game you're not playing him?
What?
You're taking the daddy long legs in a game you're not playing him?
I'm picking the Lone Star Regime.
The Lone Star long legs.
The legs usually win. That's why I pick them. We're going to go with Ryan Romer this week. Will Disley playing Arizona, who's given up the most points to tight ends this season and have allowed a touchdown to 4 tight ends this season each week. 4 in 3 weeks, 5 total. Strong bounce back week from James Conner and his running back. So look for Romer to go to 3-1.
James, is your stud of this matchup going to be James Conner? You talked about him a lot.
Yep.
All right. Brett, let's hear your hot take on this.
Yeah, so, I got to give some congratulations when they're due. Romer's really had a tough go at it a couple years in a row. His strategy of taking, he sort of employed the strategy that Hulk employed this year, taking guys on holdouts and, don't play football. That really, really hurt Romer's chances last year, taking people that
having guys that gets points is pretty important.
But yeah, so Romer's looking good this year. He had an absolute steal of a pick with Lamar Jackson. It's probably not going to be quite as good as it's been so far, but you have to like what you're seeing from him. He's looking like a surefire top 10 play every week. But at the quarterback position for Doug, Stafford has a great matchup against Kansas City. It's going to be a high-scoring affair. He's going to have to air it out, and he's got some good weapons in sweet jazz music, Kenny G, and Marvin Jones, who had a get-right game last week. So I think I'm going to give Romer a slight edge, but it's smaller than the normal week for him. And wide receiver, obviously this is not the strongest receiver matchups that we see throughout the league. But you got to give the nod again to Romer here. Fuller's really looked pretty poor thus far. Dorsett, he's done reasonably well, but I think that's more of an Edelman game whenever they play Buffalo. So I don't see him having a big week. Woods, Tampa's been great. Woods is a good player, but just a not inspiring choice. Carson's got a great matchup, and I think that if Doug wins this game, he's going to need a very big game from Chris Carson. It looks like Rashad Penny's on the injury report, and he might not suit up, which could really have a high share of that backfield for Carson this week. On Romer's side, Connor, good matchup against Cincinnati, pretty weak Cincinnati team, and Kerryon Johnson, gotta like his matchup in a high-scoring affair, especially considering that Kansas City just gave up 3 touchdowns to one Mark Ingram. So I would say it's almost a wash at the running back position. McCoy might not have a lot of competition, but he's hurt. So that's mostly a wash. Tight end obviously edge to Kelsey, but Will Dissly, great matchup against Arizona. So Romer's got to feel pretty good about that. Defenses are pretty even, I would say. I think it's a very close one, but Romer pulls it out.
All right, so we got Romer pulling it out. I'm gonna have to agree. I think Doug is a prime candidate for the calendar this year. So hopefully,
make sure you pull it out, Romer.
Better pull it out. We all got faith in you, Romer. So we are going to actually go to a quick commercial break here, and we'll be right back.